Hello people of YouTube, this is once again the Great James, and welcome back to Fantasy Archetype Review! That didn't take long now, did it? See, I'm getting better at this. Eventually. I hope. At least that's what I tell myself when I cry myself to sleep at night. Anyway, this archetype is one where, well, what are you going to do when the odds are stacked against you? Backed against the wall, gotta give it your all. This is what I call the Bakugan archetype, even though it's called the Vestroia Beast archetype, but it's clearly the fucking Bakugan archetype. Although if it was brought into Yu-Gi-Oh! It would be called the Vestroia Beast archetype because hell, Konami likes to do that. Anyone else remember Super Quantums, not Super Sentai, or Power Rangers as the West knows it? Anyway, this fantasy archetype was brought to us by Randy Anderson. And gonna have a few little disclaimers as we go along in this. The farthest the series goes is the first half of the new Vestroia arc, which means no Battle Gear, no Bakunanu, no Mutate Morph, no Mectagon, no fucking any of that other bullshit garbage. Well, no offense to those who actually like those things, I couldn't care less myself, but the furthest we go is Bakugan Traps, and then we stop. And yes, Battle Gear was introduced in the second half of New Vestroia, it's just more towards the end. It's just actually Gundalian Invaders and all the Gundalian Invaders that were just like Battle Gear every 2 seconds. But whatever. Yeah, again, this archetype, again, well, now you know what, I think I've said all I need to say. So, without further ado, let's get into this. First we got Vestroia Beast Darkus Siege. It is a warrior effect dark attribute monster with 4 stars, 1700 attack, and 1400 defense. Its effect reads, if this card is normal summoned, or if this card is normal or special summoned, got off to a great start, you can add 1 Darkus or Vestroia Beast card from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card from your hand. Destroy 1 card in the field. When this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 face-up Darkus monster you control, increase or decrease its level by 2. So yeah, the main gimmick of the Vestroia Beast archetype so far is that it's all going to be Darkus attribute, and I had to use an OC coloring for Siege to be, as a little saying says in the corner, Dusk Knight, is because I couldn't get one for Darkus Siege, which is a bit of a shame considering most of them, considering, well, there are a lot of them where you're better off just looking up the original artwork, considering the thing is a fucking monster in some cases, but stupid key is every 5 seconds, so I can't use them. Ah, well. At least I tried, I guess. So yeah, as you can see, all these cards are Darkus based, at least for now. I don't know if we ever revisit the Vestroia Beast archetype and then give us like Ventus Pyrus maybe later down the line, but for now, all Darkus. So let's start with this a little bit, number 1 by 1. If this card is normal summon or special summon, add 1 Darkus or Vestroia Beast card from your deck to your hand. So right off the bat, this thing just gives you a free search. It doesn't matter if it's Darkus or Vestroia Beast. Just instantly get a free monster, or spell, or trap. Just a free Darkus or Vestroia Beast card. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card from your hand, destroy 1 card on the field. So this thing's Raigeki Breaker. So you can literally summon this thing, fetch a card, and then pitch it just to destroy another card on the field. Just nice. It gives you ammunition, and then it fires the ammunition. And then when this card is destroyed by a battle or card effect, target 1 face-up Darkus monster you control, increase or decrease its level by 2. Yeah, this archetype's main gimmick is level manipulation, sort of along the lines of wind-ups, but not exactly, considering wind-ups kind of ditched the level up gimmick after a while, but whatever. So yeah, increasing or decreasing its level, again, it's optional whether you can do it, but this does add to more XDs or synchro plays, all things considered. So yeah, Darkus Siege, definitely a run-up, if only because of the first 2 effects. I don't know about the last effect, but if it's the entire archetype's gimmick, then you're going to have to run it. Anyway, off to a great start though, but next we have Vestroia Beast, Darkus Fear Ripper. Level 4 Dark Attribute Fiend Effect Monster with 1900 attack and 800 defense. Its effect reads, once per turn during either player's turn, you can increase or decrease this card's level by 2. Once per turn at the start of the damage step, if you control a level 5 or higher monster, you can increase this monster's attack equal to the level times 200. When this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add 1 Darkus monster from your graveyard to your hand. So this thing's very handy. Hold on, I'm just going to do a quick thing real quick. Sorry, I get paranoid. Anyway, I forgot to take the little effect thing off of that. Yeah, when Randy gave it to me, he had the little effect thing in the corner, and not all of them I remember to take it out. Okay. Hey, so yeah, let's go off this 1 by 1. Once per turn, the whole level manipulation thing, and then at the start of the damage step, if it attacks a level 5 or higher monster, this card can increase its attack equal to level times 200. That's okay. It's not great considering it's the one that has to be declaring the attack. Plus, it increases its level by a total of 200. Woo! The Lynx and the Xyz will be shaking in their boots. I'm certain. I know why it's there, but it's such a minuscule boost when you get right down to it. It's like, what are you going to be killing with that? A Hyozen Rue or something like that? Fucking Summon Skull gets over that, just like, I have 2,500 attack points in attack. You're a level 6 monster, I gain 400 extra attack. You still die, I take less damage. Yes, but you still lose. Well, you lose the fight, you don't lose the duel as a result, but still, you know. But it does have the handy effect of if it's killed, get a Darkest monster from graveyard to hand. So, you know, at least it's a warrior returning alive upon death, which is probably going to happen. But, you know, not bad. Fear Ripper's kind of a situational card, but the fact that it is a warrior returning alive makes you want to run at least one or two of it. Plus, to be fair, 1900 attack on a level 8 monster, not bad. Not bad at all. Well, anyway, next card is open. Vestroia Beast, Darkest Centipoid. Level 2 Dark Attribute Insect Tuner monster with 1200 attack and 500 defense. Its effect reads, during either player's turn, you can target one monster on the field, increase its level by 2. Excuse me. And since it's a tuner, it obviously leads to Synchro Material. Once per turn, if this card is attacked by an opponent's monster, you can special summon one level 6 or lower Darkest monster from your hand or graveyard in attack position, then change the attack target to it, or rather the one you just summoned. And if you do, the attacking monster's attack is decreased by its level times 100. So this thing is a main with Eyes of Blue that also reduces your opponent's monster's attack. And plus, that that attack reduction doesn't go away. It's not like until the end phase. It's just there permanently. So yeah, I summoned Skull from earlier. In fact, you got level 6 or lower monster Darkest in your hand or graveyard. Granted, that has to be the original level, but we will get to that case later. Considering you can't level manipulate in the graveyard, at least not yet. There might be a card that I don't know about, which is always plausible. Anyway, this thing does main with Eyes of Blue, plus it's a level 2, so you can make for easy level 8 material upon summon, or level 10, considering it is a once per turn increased level by 2, so that's hand. And the level reduction effect is going to be, and the attack point reduction effect is just handy. It's not that great, but hey, at least it's a permanent effect, so, you know, not that bad. I'd say, but it's a tuner, so you run at least 2 or 3 of it. But anyway, next card. This is where I started to run out of material. Yeah, please pretend this is black and purple and there's no human on it. That looks like Diego. I know it's an Aqua Space thing, but I couldn't get the Darkest picture, so I just had to make do with what I had. At least it's the actual monster. Gotta give me that at least. So yeah, Vestroia Beast, Darkest Juggernoid. Level 3 Dark Attribute Aqua Tuner monster with 600 attack and 2200 defense. Its effect reads, when an opponent's monster attacks while you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard in defense position, and it cannot be destroyed by battle until the end phase, but it is banished when it leaves the field. But if it can't, well then again, it can't be killed except until the end phase, so this thing's a very stronger junk defender that also comes from the graveyard, so that's pretty handy from the get-go. When this card is normal or special summoned, aka like when it's using its effect, you can special summon one level 6 or lower Darkest monster from your hand, and if you do, you can either increase or decrease its level by 2. Granted, that one's a you can, so you can choose not to do it at all, but that's your choice. So this thing's very handy off the bat, although its kind of effects kind of conflict with each other. Considering one effect saying that it can be an invincible wall, but if it's going to be special summoned and then use the effect, odds are you're going to be special summoning another monster, which the opponent would then just target the monster you just summoned with using this card's effect, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, they're going to realize, I can't kill that thing? Okay, I'll kill that thing. I mean, granted, you could just not use Darkest Juggernaut's effect, but then you're just throwing away at 3 level 6. Although, you could, if you have Centipoid also in the hand, you can just do that, so you can just bring level 6 back. So that's all your choice in the matter. Or you could just not use the effect, or you could just not use the first effect and just normal summon this thing normally, and then just special summon the level 6 so you can get into a free level 9, or level 11, or level 7. Ultimately, your choice, considering this thing's a level 3, and you're going to be bringing out a level 6 or... Wait, I'm just trying to make sure I got this. A level 6 or lower, so yeah, you can bring out any level monster. What am I saying? The last card was level 6 or lower too. Fuck! I'm great at this. I'm sorry. I see level 6 and then my brain just kind of turns off. Sorry. I know Yu-Gi-Oh! I know it real well. Lol. Oh well. Darkus Juggernaut, at least for the whole defense target thing, is very handy. Plus, it special summons a free monster. So, and it's a tuner, so you can't really knock it that much. It's on that one at least. So, I'd say again, run 2 or 3, depending on your choice. The next one, we get into the traps. Not the trap cards, the Bakugan traps. Once it wants to load. Vestroia Beast Darkest Falconfly. Yeah, I had to use the toy version because I couldn't find an actual image, so had to make do with what I had. Level 2 Dark Attribute Insect Effect Monster with 300 attack and 1500 defense. Its effect reads, when this card is normal or special summon, you can take 1 Darkest Field spell from your deck and either add to your hand or activate it. What would be the difference? This is like Metaverse or shit. Although, granted, you probably could just special summon this thing using like Juggernaut's effect and then immediately activate the field spell. And yes, this archetype has 3 fucking field spells. So, well, not 3 field spells, 2 field spells. I couldn't. So, yeah. And make of that what you will. Oh, yeah. It has 2 field spells, so you can probably just activate one of them. Anyway, once per turn, you can declare a level from 1 to 6. All Darkest monsters on your side of the field will become that at level until the end phase. Which is very interesting, considering that leads to a lot of freaking Xyz and Synchro plays at the same time. Although, one would probably conflict with the other. Considering the fact that if you make all the monsters level 6, that would lead to some problems going into Xyz materials. But, whatever, you gotta make do with what you have, I guess. If you're just going for the Synchro material, though, I guess. Your choice, not mine. But we're getting the extra deck last, as per usual. Anyway, though, this thing's pretty handy, because at least the fact that it's a terraforming or a meta. It's basically what if terraforming the spell card was also the metaverse that could be like, yeah, you could add to your hand or immediately activate it. Although, granted, if you're immediately grabbing it from your deck to your hand, you're probably immediately going to activate it anyway. But, you know, it's something. And plus, the level manipulation thing to help the whole tuner thing is handy. Although it could also probably hurt the Xyz effect. But, you know, make of it what you will. I'd say run at least 1 or 2 of these things just because it is handy. So, you know, make of that what you will. Next card. Vestroia Beast Darkest Mantris. A.k.a. the thing in the Bakugan game that has the most amount of fucking support for some reason. Because I guess the creator really fucking loved Mantris. This thing has like 3 support ability cards unique only to itself. Anyway. A level 4 Dark Attribute Insect Effect Monster with 1800 attack and 1600 defense. Its effect reads, when a Darkest monster or monster's level is increased, this card gains attack equal to its level times 200, so it's already stronger than Fear Ripper right off the bat. Plus, it doesn't even lose the power points, apparently. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and take control of it until the end. No, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and take control of it until the end phase. So this thing on summon is fucking brain control. Got it. But while this effect is applied, its effect, the opponent's effect, the monster that you stole, it has its effects negated. But it's treated as a Darkest monster, its level becomes the same as this card. So instantly going into a Xyz place, considering it'll probably become a level 4, although granted, if you increase Mantris' level, it'll also increase the opponent's monster level that you just stole. So yeah, this thing on summon is fucking Snatch Steal. Plus this thing keeps the power bonus apparently based on what the Darkest monster's level increase. Plus it's not even once per turn, so you can just increase the attack points of all your monsters, increase the levels of all your monsters, and Mantris is just there like, I am now God. It's convenient considering one of its many abilities is activating right now, considering its ability of Marionette is stealing your opponent's monster and controlling it yourself, and then your unique ability of frickin' Twin Machete of just getting stronger and stronger. Now we're missing a Sling Blazer, which just chucks your opponent's monster wherever the fuck you want. Although granted, that's technically similar to Marionette, so I guess you can make of that what you will. But yeah, Mantris is a definite 3 just because of its pure power alone, just the variety of things you can do with it. So yeah, power. Next card. Vestroia Beast, Darkest Anchorsaur. Or Anchorsaur. Yeah, I have ways with words. Level 3 Dark Attribute Dinosaur Effect Monster with 600 attack and 1900 defense. When this card is normal or summoned, I assume they meant normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Darkest Spell or Trap card from your deck to your hand. During either player's turn, you can discard this card. All Darkest monsters you control gain 200 attack and defense for each Darkest monster with different names on the field and in the graveyard until the end phase of this turn. That's pretty handy for a hand trap. Okay, on normal summon, it immediately searches out any Darkest spells or traps from your deck. So, you know, that's instantly handy because at least you're getting a free spell or trap out of it. But if you choose to use the thing as a hand trap, it's basically Raging Mad Plant's quick play spell card, but without destroying all your shit at the end phase. So yeah, this thing's quite packing a punch. Just gain attack points for all the darkest monsters you control and are currently in the graveyard. No problem. Although granted, I'm surprised he didn't just make it fucking honest, sort of make it 500 attack or defense, but this would make fucking Fear Ripper an actual threat. So yeah, Anchor Sore, at least for the sake of searching, is at least a 2 or 3 of. And the fact that it can also be used as a hand trap if you're in a pickle does make it very useful. So yeah, Anchor Sore, as I just said, is a 2 or 3 of, because, you know, at least it isn't a brick in your hand. Next card, Vestroia Beast, Darkus Laser Man. Again, I had to do the drawing because, well, again, I had to. Is a level 4 Dark Attribute Machine Effect monster with 1800 attack and 1400 defense. When this card is normal or special summon, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the number of Darkest cards on your side of the field times 300. Okay, granted, on summon, if this thing is like out in a barren field and it's turn 1, this thing's at most going to do 300 damage. But still, on summon, immediately burn the opponents. I can now imagine all the burn decks that will be using this thing. None of them, considering they can play fucking Cannon Soldier, that's why not. Although the funny thing is OCG banned Cannon Soldier, but Toon Cannon Soldier, aka the searchable one, is still legal at 3. Oi. I don't know, I'm getting off topic. When this card is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can add 1 Darkest spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So this isn't on deck as fucking Anchor Sore. I mean, I guess that's still pretty handy, considering, again, you're just still getting a free spell or trap. But, I don't know, I think Anchor Sword is just a little faster because you're not waiting for it to die. But whatever, I guess it's also the fact that this thing can also get bottomless, so that could be handy, although that would require people to play trap cards in 2018. Not fucking happening, unless it's the Solemn Brigade, or a Quaking Mirror Force on occasion. But hey, this thing's still pretty handy, at least on the field. When it's summoned on the field, it's immediate burn damage, and when it dies, it does fetch out a free spell or trap. So I guess you could run 1 or 2 of these things, just because it could be handy, you know? It's an okay card. Situational, sure, but kind of fun, probably. Anyway, next card. Vestroia Beast, Darkest Warriors. Again, ignore the kid. Believe it or not, it's actually the same Diego kid. It's fucking Christopher, whatever. But, and now people are just confused. But whatever. It's a level 4 Beast Warrior effect monster with 2100 attack and 2000 defense. Yes, a level 4 monster with 2100 attack points. Let's see how they neuter it to make it fair and balanced. When this card is normal or special summon, you can target 1 Darkest with a different level than its original. Add the attack of this card. Add its attack to this card until the end phase. Well, that's something. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Shuffle Darkest cards from your graveyard into the deck equal to the level of this card. What? Where's the neutering to make it lucky? Where's the neutering to make it sure that it's never gonna be played in the meta ever? I'm kidding. I'm just used to like Boar Soldier, Panther Warrior, and all that shit. Back when I was just like, we had to make sure no monsters have 2,000 attack points in order to save the poor helpless meta. As all the fucking OTKs are running I'm like, fine. Anyway, so when this thing's summoned, it immediately gets a power boost. So if you got like Mantris on the field and you increase its level just to make sure that Warriors has more power, you can gain that monster's attack point. You can take that monster's attack points and give it to this card. So it's like gift to the Martyr for the attack points that it has now, and you don't even have to sacrifice the monster, you just give to the martyred. So that's pretty powerful right at the fucking start. It's not even that. This thing also has 2100 attack points to go. Plus, again, you're not sacrificing the monster, so it's not like the opponent, so it's more like Rear Yoko in the sense, but the opponent's still keeping the monster. Or I guess for the modern day, Dark Rebellion Exige Dragon. But again, you're not stealing any attack points from the monster. You're just taking its current attack points and adding it to itself. So yeah. Honest? I don't know. I'm just trying to keep making other suggestions. And again, if this thing's in the graveyard, you can banish it to shuffle Darkest cards from your graveyard into the deck equal to the level of this card. Granted, you're always going to be shuffling 4 cards back into the deck, but another gimmick of this archetype is also banishing cards because it's a dark archetype. For some reason, dark cards all like banishing things, so these things of the dark attribute like banishing things. So I guess if you want to throw in a Dark Armed Dragon for whatever reason, you could. If you wanted to throw in a just generic Dark Sword into your Darkest deck. I mean, this isn't like Burning Abyss where it's like anything that isn't immediately us is therefore we will then implode unless it's Tour Guide turn 1. But whatever. Yeah, so yeah. Warriors is a fucking beat stick, no more, no less, but sometimes a beat stick is enough. But anyway, next card. Vestroia Beast, Darkest Reaper. How to make do with that image. Level 5 Dark Attribute Fiend Effect Monster with 2300 attack and 2000 defense. Its effect reads, you can special summon this card by attributing one Darkus with a level different from its original level. So that's basically the entire fucking archetype, given how this archetype works. But then again, at least it's a free freaking special summon, so it's like a Heretic in a sense. Once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls. This card loses 400 attack and 400 defense, and this card gains half attack of the attack of the monster targeted by this effect. So this thing's fucking Dark Rebellion XD's dragon that also reduces its own defense by 400 because we need to give it some sort of cost. Like, there's literally no other reason for this. It's like when the Toon monsters originally first paid 500 life points to attack directly. Just like, we need to give them some sort of cost. So there, pay 500 because fuck you. We had to come up with something. When this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, banish it, and if you do, you can destroy all non-Darkus on the field. So this thing upon its deck is Dark Hole, mostly for your opponent's side of the field, because odds are you're not playing non-Darkus. So fucking bada bing bada boom. Bada bing bada die. So this thing, let me get this straight. This thing is immediately able to special summon itself if you have a monster with a level different from its original, which the entire archetype is focused on doing. Its fucking rear yoke goes to steal your opponent's monster's attack points at the cost of 400 defense arbitrarily. And on top of that, if it dies, fucking Dark Hole, but mostly for your opponent. So it's more like a Raigeki, but Dark Hole is more accurate in this sense. So yeah, I mean, that's quite powerful. Oh, but again, it is also a level 5, and I will always have a fucking thing with level 5s because again, looking at them in a fucking void, if you got an empty field and an empty hand and draw this thing, it is a brick. Because you can't even like set it and pass. It is a brick, plain and simple. But hey, at least for what it does, if you are in a good hand, it is a good card. So I'd say run 1 or 2 of it, just because again, level 5, and I'll let extra jazz. But yeah, now let's move on to a card that you should actually play instead. With Vestroia Beast Darkus Vladator. Oh god, we're getting into the video game. How many countless hours I spent on that fucking thing. God. Nostalgia. Anyway. Level 5 Dark Attribute Warrior Effect Monster with 2500 attack and 2100 defense. Fuck you, Dark Magician. I only need 1 tribute. Fuck you, Summon Skull. I have higher defense. Shield and sword. If a Darkus monster you control is destroyed, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, all non-Darkus monsters lose attack equal to their level times 100. So this thing's a fucking Mechlord Emperor, although not specific to effect, or I guess Green Baboon, Defender of the Forest, but again, not limited to defense, or not limited to effect, or again, in the whole pay 1,000 life points or whatever. Plus, this thing is also Burn of the fucking Mighty for your opponents. Christ, talking about punishment. Once per turn, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's attack points. So it's a fucking Flame Wingman. Not much else to it there. So this thing is immediately special summonable. All you have to do is just lose a freaking Darkus monster, to which you could probably just suicide into another thing and just get a free Vladator. And it does freaking burn damage. Granted, you're probably not going to run over all that much. Although you did just weaken all your opponent's monsters, they could just make a stronger one during their main phase too. But, you know, on summon it's still pretty handy, at least, you know. Plus a good kill, I think, or two. So yeah, sorry. I find that a bit more valuable than Reaper, although some people might disagree with me, but that's just my opinion on it. So Vladator, I'd say it's a 1 or 2 of, considering if you're running a Reaper, why not run another brick? Anyway, next card. Vestroia Beast, Darkus Hydronoid, aka I wish I was an actual Hydra, because I don't actually get to actual infinite amount of heads, I get to 3 and then stop. Oops, sorry. Is a level 6 dragon effect monster with, of course, Dark Attribute, with 2550 defense and 2550 attack and 2300 defense. Oh, I hate myself sometimes. Anyway, its effect reads, if you control 2 or more Darkus monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Not bad off the bat. And all you have to do is control 2 cards. It's very easy to do if we give Incentive Point and Juggernaut anything to go off of. Although granted, this makes the whole special summon level 6 or lower cards immediately inkable. Considering I guess this is what they were building up to. Once per turn, you contribute 1 Darkus monster you control, except Vestroia Beast, Darkus Hydronoid. Destroy monsters your opponent controls with attack greater than or equal to this monster's. So this thing's a fucking armed dragon. Got it. If this card were to be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can banish one Darkest card from your graveyard instead. So fuck you. Fuck. I kill in order to save my stealth, I guess. I don't know. On summon this thing can be spell summoned just by having 2 Darkest monsters on the field, so that's instantly useful. Plus, treat a monster just fucking nuke your opponent's field for daring to have attack points greater than this thing, considering it's greater than the attack of that monster, although it could be greater than the attack of the monster you attributed, so make of that what you will. But again, all I have to do is fucking summon the weakest monster in your deck, tribute that, and if that's the case, if next wipes out anything that's lower level, fucking run anything. I don't know. Fucking run Anchorsaur, I guess. So fuck you. Sorry. Plus, if this thing was going to die, fucking Shogun Shien this shit, except use the graveyard instead of the freaking field. You're going to die, Darkus Hydroid? No, I'm not. This thing is. Fuck it. So yeah, Darkus Hydroid, worth the running of. Maybe even more than Vladitor and Reaper. But now we get into the last card of the main deck, and it is... okay, go to hit it. Vestroia Beast, Darkus Leonidas. Again, had to use fan drawing because reasons. Although, funny thing is, they came up to its evolved form, but we get to that when we get to that. Level 6 Dark Attribute Dragon Effect Monster with 2,800 attack and 2,500 defense. Its effect reads, if you have 2 or more Darkest cards in your graveyard, which is very easy to do, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, all non-Darkest monsters on the field have their levels become 1. Which is not very handy if you consider the fact that you're running a level 1 turbo deck. But there's not a lot of those in the mix. Karibo won't be hurt, I can promise you that much. If a Darkest monster or battles an opponent's monster with a different level, different from its original level, its attack becomes 0 and their effects are negated. I assume that's referring to its opponent's monster because you don't want to hinder your own monsters, considering this thing just made all your opponent's monsters levels 1. So this thing immediately special summons itself within the cost of having 2 Darkest monsters in the field, aka the same cost as Hydronoid. Well, actually, 2 Darkest monsters in the graveyard, which is fitting considering where Leonidas came from according to the video game. So yeah. Plus, while on, Darkest monsters have their levels become 1, making it very hard for them to go into the extra deck. Well, not very hard considering links, but, you know, at least you're hindering some of their plays. Synchro, Xyz, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, they could just summon a monster and they're unaffected, but hey, at least you tried. You delayed the inevitable. And plus, if a Darkest monster battles an opponent's monster with a level different from its original, which you probably just did due to this thing's effect, make the opponent's monster's attack 0 and no effects. So fuck you, I win. Clear fucking body bag. So yeah, Darkus Leonidas. Again, I'd say run one of it, because if you're running one of Hydronoid and one of freaking Reaper and one of Vladitor, you might as well run one of Leonidas. Because, again, it's mostly the fact that it's 2 Darkest in the graveyard. Very easy to do. So yeah, Leonidas is a very good thing, and I'm not just saying that because I'm biased. He lied. But now, we gotta move. We just finished the main deck monsters. So of course, we go to the spells. Assuming I can hit the damn thing. There we go. Cards of Darkness. Yeah, I had to use the fucking Zexal Dark Dry image because it was the most fitting thing I could think of. But hey, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Normal spell. If you control a Darkest monster, you can draw 2 cards. So all I have to do is just summon a Darkest monster of any kind to activate this Pot of Greed. Although granted, you have to summon the Darkest monster first, so it could either be a +1 or a break even. But that's not bad. But hey, a break even isn't bad in itself. You can banish this card from your graveyard, destroy 1 Darkest monster you control with a level different from its original level, and if you do, draw cards equal to that monster's original level. I do like the fact that it made an original level to make it a bit more balanced, because at least, you know, we can't... I make this monster level 12, destroy it for Curse of Darkness, and draw 12 cards. Fuck you, no! I mean, granted, you could just destroy the level 6 and then draw 6 cards, but that's that's still more balanced than fucking draw 7 or more. Although, granted, there will be 7 or higher levels in this deck. But hey, this thing's fucking brutal. At the mere cost of, upon activation, fucking Pot of Greed. That's not bad from the get-go. Then you banish this thing from the graveyard, pop one of your own Darkest cards, and then you could just draw, like, fucking anime card of Sanctity, possibly. Or more! So, I don't need to give you a reason why you run Cards of Darkness. You run fucking Cards of Darkness. Although people will probably still run Bot Desires over it, because why not? Oh well. Now we can move on to the 2 field spells, but first the first one, of course. Okay. Sorry about that cut, guys. I had forgotten to put in the correct effect for Doom Dimension. I had accidentally put in the Cards of Darkness effect for that. So yeah, cut. Oopsie daisy. But hey, again, back to the card itself. Field spell again. All Darkus monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. If you special summon a Darkus monster from the extra deck, you can increase the attack of that monsters by the level times 200, or by their level by 200, until the end phase. If this card is destroyed by card effect, which is, so it's fucking Gear Town, lovely, you can special summon any number of Darkus monsters from your graveyard, and if you do, you can either increase or decrease their level by 2. What the fuck is that last effect? Okay, so, well, this thing's power boost is fucking Mystic Plasma Zone. Okay, fine. It's 500 attack and defense. That ain't bad. Not that bad. If you special summon a Darkus monster from the extra deck, increase the attack of it times by its level by 200. Need I remind you that it's mostly Synchro and Fusion cards, but still, it's the high-level Synchro Fusion cards. Considering, there's a spoiler warning, there's Xyz, but Xyz don't have levels, as we all know. So yeah, this thing's getting those fucking things that just came out are also getting a power boost on top of the fucking field spell's power boost. And if this thing's getting destroyed by a fucking card effect, either player's card effect, so you can MST your own card for whatever godforsaken reason if you need to, special summon any number of Darkus monsters from the graveyard, and you can, meaning optional, either increase or decrease their level by 2. Meaning if you're fucking fucked, all you have to do is MST your own card and you immediately get a board right back. There is no reason for you to not run this fucking field spell. Even if you don't think the power boost is that great, you can just fucking pop it yourself. I mean, granted, you can't do the fucking Gear Town thing, where you could just activate Gear Town, then set a new Gear Town, get Gear Town's effect, get a free Gadgetron Dragon, then activate a new Gear Town, considering about the ruling changing of field spells. But still, that's fucking powerful. I don't even need to explain why you run this thing. Just run at least 2 or 3, you know? But there is another field spell to talk about, so we'll get into that thing now. Next field spell, Darkus Realm, Silent Core, with a picture of Drago in the background. How to make a do with it. Anyway, when this card is activated, all Darkus cards that were banished are shuffled into the deck. All Darkus monsters you control gain attack and defense equal to their levels times 200. Well, geez. And the level of if the level of a Darkus monster or monsters changes due to a card effect, aka their own fucking effect. Oh, Hamer's in the background. You can draw 1 card. Because clearly this after fucking Cards of Darkness, one thing that this archetype was desperately needed was more draw power. Reminds me of one time on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro where I dueled this one guy. We could have like 20 cards in the frickin' in hand from the starting hand. This one guy was still activating draw cards. Just like, we have our entire deck, half our decks in our hand. Why do you need more cards? Ay. Anyway, hey, let's go over this fucking thing from the get-go. When this card's activated, Darkus cards that were Spanish are shuffled into the decks. This thing's immediately Elemental Hero Electrum. Not to mention, all Darkus monsters gain attack and defense equal to their levels times 200, and this archetype is focused on level manipulation. I mean, not every card in the archetype does it, but the majority of the cards do, much like the alien archetype, where some of them have the whole alien counter power boosting, power decreasing effect, but some don't. And of course, there's also the fact that if the level of a Darkus monster or monsters changes due to a card effect, you can draw 1 card. And it's not even once per turn, or better, a hard once per turn. It's just, if a Darkus monster's level changes, the entire archetype's gimmick, draw. It's just ridiculous. Hey, if you thought fucking Doom Dimension is good, Doom Dimension all it was missing was fucking draw power. And all the Doom Dimension was a power booster. This thing does basically everything else. So if you're not running fucking 3 of Doom Dimension, or you're running 3 of this, or at least 2 of both. So yeah, fuck you. Fucking powerful. Oy. And we're back again. This, kids, is why you proofread everything. Oy. I forgot to make the fucking Darkus Fusion card. Well, no, I think I just forgot to save it. Oops. Live and learn, everyone. I'm a fucking moron. Anyway, this is why you proofread. A Darkus Fusion, normal spell. Fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck, in case you were thought of fusion summoning a synchro monster. Using Darkus monsters you control or in your hand. So this thing's basically polymerization. Again, for the artwork, I had to use Super Poly because it was the best one I could think of at the time. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle 1 banished Darkus card into the deck, then add this card into your hand. This fucking Gem Knight Fusion. I mean, focusing on banishing and sending it back to focusing on sending banished cards back to the deck instead of Gem Knight Fusion, which focuses on sending cards that are in the Gem Knight cards in the graveyard, banishing them to get the card back. But still, fucking good. Although I do love the Gem Knight Fusion card. Anyway, I'm getting off the Gem Knight Fusions is now. Darkus Fusion from the get-go is fucking polymerization and basic level. But the fact that it can also recycle itself and then get itself back is fucking powerful based on its just that on its own. Considering the fact that it's basically Gem Knight Fusion. As I have been like, you can only activate the effect of Darkus Fusion once per turn. No. Spam that fucker. You can. Because it doesn't, if there's no card effect that says you cannot activate this more than once per turn, it means you can use this once per, it means you can use this more than once per turn. Plain and simple. Oh, okay. Next card. See, Darkus ability. Oh no, Drago used the Darkus ability. Darkus ability, Third Judgment. That was the best artwork I could think of, so I thought, hey, Third Judgment, 3 people, why not? You say Yugi Jaden. In Quick Play spell card, if a opponent controls a monster, or well, you control a Darkus monster, you can spell summon one and other Darkus monster from your hand or deck. And if you do, increase the attack of one Darkus monster. Oh fuck, there goes my entire freaking thing. Thank goodness I didn't lose my place. Blooper reel. If you do, increase the attack of one Darkus monster by the attack of the special summon monsters. During the end phase, if the level of that special summon, if the level of the special summon Darkus monster does not change, banish it. Okay, interesting considering it since it's a quick play, you can activate it on your opponent's turn, of course. So the mirror cost if your opponent has a monster and you control a Darkus monster, special summon one other Darkus monster from your hand or the deck, and fuck it. If you do, increase the attack of one Darkus monster, meaning it could be either one you just special summoned, or the one that's already in the field, although it'll probably only be the one in the field. Increase the attack of that thing by one Darkus monster by the attack of the special summon monster. So odds are you'd just be giving a rear Yoko to a monster you're considering the monster you just summoned in from the deck would then be just giving its attack points to the fucking monster that's already on the field, in order probably to help with the damage step and stuff like that. Even though you can't use that during this card during the damage step. But anyway. Plus, although this is the card like during the end phase at the level the special summon Darkus monster did not change, banish it. So again, if you're activating it on your opponent's turn, you have to immediately change its level, which will be very hard to do. Though there are other cards that can also change the level that aren't specific to the level or to the Darkus attribute under. Again, there are cards that do change levels, so yeah, you can just activate a card that's not specific to the Archetype. I'm pretty sure Tom runs one in the card at least. But anyway, I'm getting into Project Kings now. So yeah, Third Judgment, not bad. I wish I could have gone with the better artwork, but it was the best I could do. I've gone through enough shit as it is now. Anyway, next card. There it is. Darkus ability, Energy Merge. Loading. Not bad, eh? Even though you can't see because probably the thing's kind of fucked. Anyway, Quick Play spell card. If a level 6 or lower Darkus monster you control is targeted for an attack by a monster with a level greater than or equal to the attack target, increase the attack of the attack target by the level of the attacking monsters times 200. This one's kind of situational. All you have to do is control a level 6 or lower Darkus monster. Not hard. And if it's been targeted for an attack target by a monster that has and if the attacking monster has a higher level than the monster that's currently attacking, that's being attacked, of course, is you can increase the one that's being attacked level times the level of the attacking monster. Granted, this is very situational because it's another fucking Darkus Fear Reaper, although, granted, I will give it this. Fear Reaper was increased its level times the difference, apparently, from what I could tell of it. Energy Merge seems to be like times the level of it, so it's like kind of. Anyone know the speed spell, Speed Energy? If you don't, look it up, because that's basically what this card is. Although Speed Energy is based off of how many speed counters you have in order to gain 200 attack points for each of them. So yeah, it's a situational card, but I think it's useful enough. So it's your choice. I probably wouldn't run it considering it's such a minuscule power boost, but it's ultimately your choice in the end. Your choice to run again, as I always make the joke, the card that doesn't exist. So yeah, make of that what you will. But anyway, I think this card's next. I'm kind of lost. Okay, next ability, Darkus ability, Destroy, Vanish. Specific to Darkus Alpha Hydra, as you can see, considering that's what was used in the final brawl of Masquerade versus Dan. Spoil warning. Don't worry, he only uses it once and then drops it. Oops, spoil warning. If you control a Darkus monster with a level different from its original level, aka the Archetype's entire gimmick mostly, destroy all non-Darkus monsters with levels less than or equal to that monster, and if you do, increase your life points by the number of destroyed monsters times 400. Okay, Destroy Vanish fucking just reduced your opponent's G power to 0. Because they had to have a lot of those back in fucking Bakugan for some reason. I'll tell you what. Okay, so let me get this straight. Destroy Vanish means that if you control a Darkus monster with a level different from its original level, I can destroy all non-Darkus monsters, which is mostly my opponents, with levels less than or equal to that monster, the one I targeted. And if I do, I also gain life points times the number of monsters, by the number of destroyed monsters times 400. I mean, granted, you're probably only going to pop one thing, but this is the fucking dark hole that also heals you. I know people say life points don't matter, but it's still nice to have them. You know, again, a lot of people say life points don't matter, and I see their argument for it, considering as long as you have more than 0, you're still fine. But life points do matter enough to me, damn it. It's still real to me, damn it! So yeah, fucking Dark Hole that also heals you. You run one or two of these things. Fuck Dark Hole, just run this. Anyway, yeah, fuck you. Next card. Impulse of Darkness. I use Dark because why not? Also, I'm going to give out a bit of a fucking spoil with this card. This card was errata and actually caused a bit of an argument between me and Jack Hoffer. But we'll get to that when we get to it. When a Darkest... Let's go over the effect now. It's a continuous spell card. When a Darkest monster you control changes its level, place one darkness counter on this card. For all darkness counters on this card, decrease the attack of all non-Darkest monsters by their level times 300. Okay, here's the thing that got errated. You can send this card to the graveyard, shuffle any number of Darkest monsters from your graveyard into the deck for every darkness counter on this card. You didn't see the errata. The errata was Randy Anderson also added the from the graveyard. See, in the original version of this card, it didn't add the in the graveyard. So I made the argument that you could use this thing as monster recovery. But the problem with that is, Jack Hoffer also mentioned the fact that it would also be me technically cheating, considering the card itself does not say that you can do that. It's clear you're trying to go for a graveyard or advantage zone. Although I argue, if the card doesn't say that I can't do it, one could technically do it. That is where I stand in the argument of it. It didn't say at the time graveyard or banish zone. That got errated. So technically you can. It's why we have problem solving text. It's like the frickin' card. It's like when Dark Magic Curtain got an errata. Dark Magic Curtain's original thing was you could pay half your life points, plus summon Dark Magician from your, I think it was hand deck or graveyard, but you cannot summon monsters until the end. But you cannot summon monsters for the rest of the turn. That got errata too. You cannot summon monsters for the rest of the turn, but you can set. And that is a wild region of difference, because at least it means if you can't summon a monster that turn, you can still defend yourself if Dark Magician blows up. So at least you can set a monster. That is a world of difference. So yeah, this shows how much of a world of difference just adding the specifically from the graveyard thing is. See, Yu-Gi-Oh! Some people may mock problem-solving text in some cards, and in case of some cards, it is a little ridiculous. It's just made a bug. Destroy one card on the field regardless of position. Yes, it is. In some cases, it is ridiculous. But it is also entirely necessary for this game to make sense and make it simple for even newcomers. So, with that out of the way, let's actually talk about the Impulse of Darkness. Now that I've officially made this video over an hour. When a Darkest monster you control changes its level, we'll place one dark... yeah, I'm reading it again because I completely forgot. You can place the darkness counter on this card, and then for every darkness counter on this card, you can decrease the attack of all non-darkest monsters in the field by the level times 3 inches. That's pretty powerful. So if your opponent's supposed to summon a high-level monster, it's getting its attack reduced by 300 times the amount of darkness cards. And all I have to do is if a darkness card changes its level, which is, again, the entire point of the archetype, as I brought up with the cards of darkness. Or rather, the Doom Dimension, or Silent Core field spell. It's just ridiculous. And then, again, you can choose to send this card to the graveyard and then shuffle any number of Darkest monsters from your graveyard into the deck for every darkness counter on this card. So let's pretend you're running out of cards, like you're running Light Sworns, I guess, in your fucking Darkest deck, and you're running out of cards left. Just send this card to the graveyard, and then shuffle cards from your graveyard into equal to the number of Darkness cards on it. And it'll probably be a lot, considering, again, it's the entire point of the Archetype. So fuck yeah! Impulsive Darkness is debatable. I mean, again, it doesn't do anything for Xyz or Lynx, so you can't. So you know that's situational. But hey, this thing, it could be handy. It could be handy. That's the best thing I can say about it. Could be handy. I'd say run 1 or 2 of. God, this fucking Archetype is a disaster. This is worse than fucking Grim Archetype. But hey, at least I'm actually editing. Minusculely, but I'm trying. Next card, Darkest Union. Ugh. I used Maxis Helios because I figured it was the most fitting for a Union thing. He's even got Spectre in his head if you look close enough, although that would require the fucking visuals to be any good. Normal spell. Banish 1 level 4 or lower Darkest monster from your deck. Wow. Special summon 1 Darkest monster from your graveyard equal to the level of the banished monster. Okay, granted the highest level in this deck goes 6, but it's still supposed to summon a 3 monster from your graveyard at the cost of banishing. Not bad. During either player's turn, you can banish this card. Select a level between 1 and 6. All Darkest monsters you control become that level, and if you do, Xyz summon 1 Darkest Xyz monsters using those monsters only. You cannot special summon any monsters except Darkest monsters, presumably for the rest of the turn, considering it just stops at you're not supposed to summon any monsters except Darkest monsters, so that would mean for the remainder of the duel, oops. But, you know, just for the standards of, like, okay, let's just assume it means until the end of the turn, like the usual cost for this thing. Okay, that's fine. So, off the bat, this thing is like, okay, banish 1 level 4 lower Darkest... Oh, I misspoke then. It's not highest level, it's level 6, considering you can't go higher than level 4. I know how to read. I just don't know how to listen to myself reading. So, this thing is immediately supposed to summon a Darkest monster from the graveyard, equal to the level of the banished monster that was from the deck. So, I'd say you're just banishing free materials, although then again, this graveyard, this deck has shown that it also has banishment support, so why the fuck is that a cost? Then, again, you can banish this card, and again, it doesn't have to be the turn, it doesn't say, except the turn, well then again, except the turn that you sent, this card was sent to the graveyard, so you can then banish the card, and then select a level between 1 and 6, and if you control more Darkest cards at the time, immediately fucking go for it. Although it does say, Xyz summon, you can Xyz summon 1 Darkest Xyz monster using those monsters only, although granted, you're only summoning 1 monster, so if the field's empty, you can't go into an Xyz summon, unless it means you can Xyz summon using 1 monster, which is kind of illegal. It kind of links summoning in a sense, too. What is this, the freaking anime where 1 card can count as 2 cards? Is an Xyz material, which I kind of wish was an actual thing in the game, just because of how broken it would be. Xyz summon using 1 monster! That's fair and balanced, right? I wish that was Switcher's effect. Anyway, this thing's kind of situational, because it reminds me of advanced heraldry art, but it could be useful. I'd say run one of it just because the card text gives me a headache, and I don't like having headaches. But anyway, that was the last spell card. Yay! But we still have 1 trap card, because for some reason everyone likes to throw in 1 trap card. I'd say if you're only going to throw in 1 card, skip it, but whatever. Darkest Command, Joker's Wild. And I had to use the fucking Dark Knight Joker's magic trick scene, because really, what do you think Joker's Wild? The fuck, do you have a better image? Like, why not? Why not Joker from Dark Knight? Let him have this one. Heath Ledger stole the entire Dark Knight performance. If an opponent's monster attacks while you have a Darkest monster in your graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 6 or lower Darkest monster from your graveyard, increase its level by 2, and if you do, change the attack of all opponent's monsters to 0. So the mere cost of just having a level 6 or lower Darkest monster in your graveyard, you can then immediately bring it back, and then make your monster attack, all your monsters attack points 0. If the level, better than the anime, where anime Joker's Wild was straight up, you win, no fucking. Although granted it isn't you win the entire brawl, it's just you win that particular fight. So yeah. Hey, fuck you. Not bad, but whatever. If the level of your opponent's monsters is less than the special summon monster, banish them. Oh, so you're not only zeroing out their attack points, if they're also a lower level, which means that since this thing also increases its level by 2 on summon, and since it's a level 6 or higher, it's probably going to be a level 8. If the opponent's monster is less than the special summon monsters, banish the fuckers. Because clearly this card wasn't broken enough. Again, still more fair than the actual version of it, in which it was straight up, you win that particular battle. Although granted, if the trap card just said if your opponent attacked the Darkest monster, the opponent monster is instantly destroyed. That'd probably be more balanced than this card. So, balanced than this card, but whatever. I don't know. Although Joker, I still claim the fact that Joker's WoW is still more broken in the anime, but that's just how the fucking Bakugan is different. The Bakugan game is different from the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. That's just a statement of fact. So yeah, Darkest Command, Joker's WoW. If you're not running it, you're an idiot. I don't care if it's a fucking trap card doesn't have a high speed spell thing. It's fucking good. I'd still run 3 of it, even though it is a trap card. So whatever. But that was the last main deck card, which means, of course, as it is contractually obligated, we are going into the extra deck. And don't worry, I've already checked on all these cards. So yes, we do have them all. Now watch me eat my foot. So now we're going to the extra deck, starting with the Xyz. Starting with Vestroia Beast, Darkus Dual Hydronoid. Load. There we go. It is a rank 6 Dark Attribute Dragon Xyz effect monster with 2900 attack and 2800 defense. Ignore this little thing in the corner. That's just a TV thing. Its summoning conditions are 2 level 6 Darkus monsters. If this card is special summoned by using a Darkus monster as a material, you mean the only way you can summon this thing? I mean, granted, there is the marionette clause of, like, you can just steal your opponent's monster and make that a Darkus, but, again, it wouldn't be counted as a material anymore once it became, you know, the Xyz material, but you know what I'm trying to say here, right? Anyway, if this card is expensive when using a Darkus monster as material, redundant, it gains this effect, or the Dual Hydronoid does. It can make a second attack during each battle phase. You know, just in case your opponent activates that one card that lets you attack your opponent attack twice. An unfortunate report, because, you know, everyone's main decking an unfortunate report. Everyone wants to give their opponent battle phases. No one fucking runs an unfortunate report for a damn good reason. Why would you give your opponent a free battle phase? If you don't know any unfortunate report, look it up. Yeah, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card. Banish one Darkus monster from your graveyard. Destroy cards your opponent controls up to the level of that banished monsters, and if you do, increase this monster's attack for each banished card, for every card destroyed, times 300. And this isn't even just levels alone. You can banish a fucking level 6 card in the graveyard, and this thing can destroy 6 cards, if I'm understanding this correctly. Because it's up to the amount of... Because it depends on the level of the monster you banish. So if it's banished a card that was originally level 6, destroy, again, 6 cards. Granted, since this thing takes 2 level 6 Darkus monsters to make, you can't... The way the cost system works is, you can't just detach the material and use the card that you just... Well, you probably could, considering you have to detach, pay the cost first. But there has to be a Darkus monster in the graveyard first. You can't just activate a card effect without anything to pay for in the first place. You can't you can't bring this thing out turn 1 and immediately just fucking nuke the field, you know, when you don't have any Darkus cards in the graveyard. That's just how the game works. It's just a rule of the game unless Konami changes it, as they tend to do. But still, this card alone is fucking dreadful. This thing is fucking terror incarnate. That's why it has 2 heads. It's fitting symbolism. Ay ay ay. This thing's fucking dangerous. Is make a second attack during every battle phase. Oh, and you can attach the material to fucking nuke your entire opponent's field, and for every card destroyed, gain 300 attack. So again, since you can go up to 6 cards, assuming you didn't banish any of your synchro cards or fusion cards. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. On top of 2,900, it is fucking 4,700 attack points. Pray your opponent didn't set 7 cards and have Magic Cylinder face down. Dual Hydronoid. It's an extra deck monster, so I'd say you run 2 or 3 of it just because the extra deck isn't as crowded. But now we have the upgraded form of Dual Hydronoid. And this one comes with the Summon Chant. That's right, Randy Anderson made summoning chants for these cards. So, let's actually, because I just ruined in that whole thing. Let's try this again. Summoning Chant. Chaotic Hydra of the Shadows. Channel the nightmarish strength from within your heart and purge those who oppose your grand evolution. Xyz Evolution! Yes, that's the line. Awaken. Vestroia Beast. Darkus Alpha Hydronoid. Vestroia Beast Darkus Alpha Hydronoid. Rank 7 Dark Xyz Effect Monster. Dragon Xyz Effect Monster, my bad. 3,400 attack and 3,000 defense. Effect. Its summoning conditions are 3 level 7 monsters, but you might have heard the Xyz evolution part. This thing's getting M7 up in you. You can also Xyz summon in Vestroia Beast Darkest. You can also Xyz summon Vestroia Beast Darkest Alpha Hydronoid by using Vestroia Beast Darkest Dual Hydronoid as Xyz materials. Meaning this thing's like an upgrade, like fucking Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger, if you want me to get something people might know. Or again, Concealer M7 as the Xyz material. So Vestroia Beast Dual Hydronoid becomes the Xyz material for Alpha Hydronoid, and the Xyz material that Dual Hydronoid also had. So that's helpful. This card gains attack for each Xyz material attached to this card to it times 300. So this thing upon summon will have at least 3 materials. If you summon it normally or use Dual Hydronoid that have both materials for some reason, this thing can get 3, 6, 9 on top of 3,400. That's 4,300 attack points. Means once per turn during either player's turn, you can target one Darkest monster from your graveyard. Attach it to this card as an interface of Xyz material. Because clearly this thing doesn't have materials. This is becoming Hazy Flame Basil Trice. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card. Destroy as many cards your opponent controls and inflict 800 damage for every card destroyed. And if you do, this card can make 3 attacks during during the battle phase? What the fuck? It's the mere cost of fucking one Xyz material that this thing can just instantly get back due to its effect. Or just instantly add the Xyz material to instantly get rid of it again. Which means it's only losing 300 attack points. Oh no, whatever shall I do? I feel so just abused. I can destroy as many cards my opponent controls as possible. Give them Gaga Cowboy for every card destroyed. And I can attack 3 times during each battle phase. I don't even need to explain when you run this thing. It's just fucking ridiculous. Like, if this card was an actual card, this thing would be either 1 or straight up banned. I could see Konami maybe putting it to 1 at first, just to give it a chance to see, okay, maybe it wouldn't happen. But I think then they just emergency ban list this thing. Because that is fucking ridiculous. Like, are you kidding me? Nuke your opponent's board, then nuke your opponent's board, inflict 800 damage for every card destroyed, and you get extra attacks. No, no. The only cost for that, all that, is 1 Xyz material. Like, no. That is too powerful. Like, that is ridiculous. I covered a card with infinite attack points. I covered a card with 8,000 attack points. And this is where I draw the line. Christ. At least the infinite attack point monster had a stupid as fuck summoning condition. The 8,000 attack point monster was just didn't let you attack constantly and didn't nuke your opponent's board. It just was a strong beat stick at the very least. But Jesus fucking Christ, man! I guess I know who someone's favorite card is. If anything, that means the fucking summoning chain is too low-key. How can you top fucking that? Well, let's find out, shall we? Next card. I don't even need to explain why you run this thing. You can't run this thing, because if this thing came out, it would be banned. Okay, I've gone on for long enough. Like this video isn't long enough as it is. Vestroia Beast, Darkest Percival. Sorry about it being in the corner. I had to make do with what I had. Dark, level 7, Dragon Synchro Effect Monster with 2,800 attack and 2,000 defense. I never perceived Percival as a dragon monster, not gonna lie. I always perceived him more as a fiend or warrior, but mostly fiend to be fair. I know why it's starting because it's little side cannon things, but I never perceived it as a dragon. But that's just me. Its summoning conditions are 1 Darkest Tuner plus 1 or more non-tuners, so it doesn't even have to be a Darkest monster specifically. It can just be any non-tuner. If this card is special summoned, you can banish if this card is special summoned, how do you normal summon or flip summon a fucking synchro monster? Well, I guess you could flip summon it with your opponent uses Book of Eclipse and then you flip summon it that way, but you know what I'm saying. What do you mean if this card is special summoned? I mean, I know why it's called if this card, so it's not like an if or when sort of thing, but it's just like, what? Anyway, you can banish any number of Darkest cards up to the original level of this card. 7. This card gains attack equal to the number of banished cards times 300. Achievement Christmas. Plus it said, banish any number of Darkus cards up to the original. This thing does not specify where. This thing does not specify where. It doesn't say graveyard, field, or fucking deck. It just says is banish cards. I assume it could mean either the graveyard or the field. I favor graveyard because I don't want to banish cards from my own field. But still, if it does not specify, therefore it is not illegal. But maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, and maybe we'll say more. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you gain life points equal to the level of the destroyed monster times 100. That's mediocre. I would fucking rather run... If it came to the fucking life point getting effect, I would sooner run Thought Ruler Archspeed. Though, this thing gains more power, so really what's the difference? This thing can at most fucking give you 1,200 life points, so that's just mediocre at best. It's kind of a letdown sort of effect, but whatever, I guess, you know? It's a beat stick. It really is, considering you're just banishing Darkus cards and then just getting more attack points for it, and then getting a minuscule amount of life points. So, I said Dark Hole, that also heals you, but Dark Hole felt like it was more useful running, but it's your choice. I'd say you could run one of burst, will not be too bad. Plus, the life point getting effect is handy. It's not a bad effect. It just feels too small. Like the power boost was too small, the life point boost feels too small for me. I'm not saying it needs to be 500 or anything like that, though that would be nice, but it felt like more like 300 or something like that. But that's just me. That's how I would do it. This is not my archetype of my creation. I would have had a fuck ton more battle gear. Next card. Vestroia Beast. Oh, wait, fucking... Did this thing get a chant, too? Oh, no, it didn't. Good. Fuck Percival. Vestroia Beast. Darkest Midnight Percival. Level 8. Level 8 Dragon Synchro Effect monster with 3,000 attack and 2,200 defense. Let's think this thing that's broken as Alpha fucking Hydronoid. If this card is special summoned, you can negate the effects of all non-Darkus cards in the field. So that's pretty good from the get-go. You just negate all your opponent's shit mostly. During either player's turn, you can banish one Darkus card from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Oh, so it doesn't specify where. You can just use materials from the fucking banish. You can banish cards from your fucking deck. No problem. What's the issue? Banish one Darkus card from your hand, deck, or graveyard to destroy one card your opponent controls. Oh, it's fucking Raigeki Break. That also banishes, and it doesn't and you can just use materials from your fucking deck. What's the issue? If this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can shuffle any number of banished Darkus cards in the graveyard, and if you do, you gain 200 life points for each returned card. So this thing's mostly just a reshuffler. So this thing is fucking unsummon and negates all your opponent's cards' effects, not just monsters, just any effects in general. It also can banish from even the fucking deck to pop a card in the field, and if it manages to die somehow, Mirror Force, I guess. Yes, 3,000 attack is kind of hard to get over, not impossible, just kind of hard. 3,000 attack is kind of hard nowadays. How far we've come. Anyway, you can put cards that most likely this card and probably Percival just banished, and then gain life points on top of it. And granted, this is a higher life point boost than Percival. I do need to specify that. It is better than Percival, just because it's a higher amount of life points, but I don't know. I'd still say I probably wouldn't run these synchros. Well, okay, no, that's not fair. I would run each of them at 1. That's probably what I do. I am surprised, though, that Midnight Percival isn't like Life Stream Dragon, where it takes specifically Percival. But, you know, that's, I guess because Alpha Hydronoid set me up for that. But, you know, that's just me. But we're not done with the synchros yet. There's one more, and there's one more summoning chant. Let's get into it. Let me just get this on standby. Okay. Ravenous Guardian of the Dark Realms, embrace the shadowy veils that grant you power, and eradicate those who oppose your destructive might. Synchro summon, come forth! Vestroia Beast, Darkus Exedra! And yeah, I just reused the artwork from what I used in, what is it? Shooting Star Hydra, because I'm lazy. Why not? It is a level 10 Synchro Dark Reptile Effect Monster with 3,500 attack and 2,900 defense. And yes, we went from 7, 8 to 10. Fuck 9. No one likes 9. Its summoning requirements are 1 Darkus Tuner and 1 or more non-tuners. Again, no light screen. When this card is special summoned, you can banish one Darkus monster from your hand or graveyard, because we haven't had enough banishment. If it's not banishment, it's level manipulation. And if you do, banish the top cards of your deck up to the level of the banished monster, because clearly this archetype really hates your deck. If this card destroys an opponent's monster, or banish one Darkus card you control, and if you do, this card can attack again. And that's not once per turn. You can keep doing it. So it's a nice little callback to its unique ability of Shining Wizard, which just let it gain power off of another Bakugan it controlled in order to keep attacking and get more power. Though Masquerade was able to play around that, but whatever. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, somehow, shuffle all your banished Darkus cards into the deck. If you do, increase your life points for every card shuffled times 200. So yeah, that last effect is just basically Midnight Percival. But I'd say the fact that also fucking banishes cards from everywhere you control, every which way in Sunday, it's also going to be giving you more life points if it dies after the whole job is done. Plus, if this card destroys a opponent's by a battle, just keep attacking. It's fine. What's the problem? It's not even the fact that it's like you attack an opponent's monster again. You could just wipe out all their opponent. Like, you could just keep banishing Darkus monsters that you can control up to the amount of dark. Just keep banishing Darkus monsters you control, except of course itself. And then if your opponent runs out of monsters before you run out of monster tribute, it can attack directly. I mean, it can't attack after that because it has to destroy an opponent's monster first, just before it can attack again. But still, you're at least getting one free direct attack shot, so that's not bad. So yeah, I'd still run Darkus Exceedra before the other ones. I know it's going to be just crippling my fucking deck to no end and banishing all of my crap, but I'm going to get that shit back. And I can just destroy this thing myself, like, with actual Darkhold if I really need the freaking cards back. So yeah, not fucking bad, Exceedra, not bad. But don't worry, we are nearing the end. 2 more cards to go, then we're done with the Archetype. Next card, Vestroia Beast. Darkus Battle Axe Vladitor. We're going into fusions, everyone. And no links. Just gonna say that right out. No links, and of course, no pendulums. I haven't reviewed a single pendulum card yet. Whatever, card maker can't make pendulums either, so I guess it's not the end of the world. Fusion Effect is a warrior fusion effect monster with 9 stars, a dark attribute, 3000 attack, and 2600 defense. Its only requirements are 2 Darkus monsters. Remember, this dark archetype does have Darkus Fusion, because every archetype nowadays apparently needs to have its own unique fusion cards according to Vrains. Trickstar Fusion, Cyberse Fusion, fucking everything. Whatever happened to polymerization? Anyway, if this card is fusion and summoned, you can inflict 300 damage to your opponent for every banished card that you have. Exceedra will be pleased. Then, if this card is fusion and summoned using a level 5 or higher monster, destroy one monster your opponent controls. And if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the opponent's monster's original attack. You can only use this effect of Vestroia Beast Darkus Battle Axe Vladitor once per turn. Yes, we have only gotten to now where we are now adding a once per turn effect. Why is it a hard once per turn? I assume it's so you can't just like keep stacking Darkus Fusion, considering Darkus Fusion can constantly recycle itself. So you don't want it to be constantly just summoning 3 of these fuckers and then just, winning. Because then you could just use Battle Axe Vladitor as so many requirements to make another Battle Axe Vladitor. Like how people would often use Absolute Zero as fusion material to make another Absolute Zero, just so they can get Absolute Zero's nuking effect off. It's sort of like that. So I can kind of get why he had the extra effect, just so you can't do that. It makes sense to me. It's just, I do like the fact that it gets 300 for every banished card. So if you use Exceedra for this thing, and though it wouldn't destroy Exceedra during a card effect, so you wouldn't get any of the life points back, but you would then burn your opponent for 300 for every banished card you have. Then if it's fusion somebody using a level 5 or higher monster, I destroy a monster you control and you take damage equal to that monster's original attack. Wait, equal to the opponent. You can inflict damage to your opponent equal to your opponent, and equal to that monster's original. It says equal to your. You can inflict damage opponent equal to your opponent twice, equal to that monster's original attack. So yeah, if I destroy off the top of my head Blue Eyes, I can just destroy that monster and then it take 3,000. Assuming it doesn't have targeting defense, but hey, not fucking bad. It's mostly the fact that Exceedra just set up the field for you, and then you fuse in some of this thing, you fucking win. Mostly that point. So yeah, that Axe Vladitor, very powerful. I think you should run at least one of it, but we still have one last monster to go. And it's the last one with the summoning chain, of course. Destructive beings in the grand universe. Embrace the chaotic veil of your homeland and courageous spirit of the universe. And out of the mystic whirlpool, aka the polymerization, emerges a power that rivals the beings of heaven and hell. Come forth, avatar of my heart! Vestroia Beast, Darkus Omega Leonidas! I was really let down by the fact that it took forever to freaking load. Oops. Ah well. Vestroia Beast, Darkus Omega Leonidas, Dark Attribute level 11, Dragon Fusion Effect monster with 4,000 attack and 3,000 defense. I do like it something kind of how it gives a reference to the freaking polymerization whirlpool, so yeah. Of course, it doesn't say in the actual thing whirlpool, aka polymerization thing. That was something I added in. So that's not Randy's fault, it's my fault. So yell at me. Its summoning requirements are 1 level 5 or higher Darkus monster plus 2 regular Darkus monsters. So, oh yeah, it's got a steep summoning requirement from the get-go considering it needs 3 monsters and one of them has to be level 5 or higher. Let's see if it makes up for that. If this card is fusion summoned, destroy as many cards your opponent controls. Destroy as many cards your opponent controls, and if you do, inflict 500 damage for every card destroyed. Wait, it doesn't say as many cards your opponent controls. It just says as many cards your opponent controls. Not all cards your opponent controls. It's as many, but that means it has to have a limit. But it doesn't specify a limit. Ah, well. Cannot be taught. Still, that's pretty powerful from the get-go. Just destroy cards your opponent controls, then gain 500. Oops. Cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. Nice immunity. This card can make 2 attacks during every battle phase. Or each battle phase. Still not stronger than fucking Alpha Hydroid, who can make 3. During either player's turn, you can send 1 Darkus card from your deck to the graveyard. Increase the level of all Darkus monsters you control by 1, including this thing, which means it'll probably stop at level 12. Although it doesn't specify max 12, so theoretically you could go to level 13. You probably can't, but theoretically. Once per turn, you can banish 1 Darkus monster from your hand, graveyard, or face up on the field. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to the current level of that banished card monster by 600. Meaning this thing is also fucking Cannon Soldier times level. So if you get Darkus Omega Leonidas up to fucking level 12, you're then also up to 600. So let's see. 6 times 10 is 6,000, 66, 7,200 attack points at maximum. Because it's level 12, and 12 times 6 is 7,200. All you have to do is get Omega Leonidas up 1 level. Boom! But nearly, that's almost game. You could get to level 13. That would be game. Wait, let me check my math. No. Okay, no, 7,200 damage. You can't go. If you go to level 14, that would be game. Okay, I can't count. Good. That's good to know. I don't like being able to count anyway. It's not fucking stronger than Alpha Hydra just because Alpha Hydra is so ridiculous. But actually, Alpha Hydra is ridiculous to the point where you're just saying, no, this card would be banned. Omega Leonidas, maybe it could exist at 1. Maybe. It's mostly the steep summoning condition. And that it makes me say that. Because it has to be 1 level 5 or higher, and then 2 regular Darkus monsters that make me say that. But just the fact that this thing can attack twice, and then send a Darkus card from anywhere, from your deck to the graveyard, and then increase all Darkus monsters you control level by 1, and then just become fucking Cannon Soldier just fine. Yeah, sure, why not? Plus it can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects. And it has the weird burn effect, but if you get that weird burn effect up to the number of cards, I'm just assuming up to the amount of cards that are secret material or something like that, or as many cards as possible. So then that's fucking, you're gonna deal at least like, if your opponent has 2 cards and you can destroy those 2 cards, you just deal 1,000 damage so they make 8,000. Or to make their life point 7,000. Then you just gotta use Omega Leonidas' effect to increase its level once, and then its Cannon Soldier effect once. GG. Burn decks would fucking run this card. Okay, maybe not Burn decks considering it's all Archetype exclusive, but that's fucking ridiculous. Like, Omega Leonidas is fucking ban-worthy in its own right, although I still think Alpha Hydronoid's worse. But that's just me. But hey, that's the end of the Bakugan Archetype. That's the end of the Vestroia Beast, so let's give a round of applause for Randy Anderson for being balls to the walls, insane at the end. He may have dropped the balls in the synchros, in my opinion, but he made up for it with a fucking fusion and Xyz. I'm sorry this episode had so many cuts in it, but I guess I should have proofread more. But I guess when I got to the end, I just figured, fuck it, I'm at the end, I might as well finish. Ah, well. Live and learn. I gotta make up for this for the next card. So, yeah. That's the end of the Darkus Archetype, Vestroia Beast, Bakugan, whatever. So, yeah, if you got your own video suggestions, leave them in the comments below. With all that said, this is the Great James signing off. See you all in the next one. Bye!